So I think, I don't know. I would... See, I still don't believe the Joker won at this point. I'm still in a state of disbelief. Like, they were able to come through and do so well, 3-0. But, I mean, yeah, Eclipse is going to be waiting for whoever wins here. But first and foremost, we're going to have to see...
That's easy.
Oh, okay. So that was a very nice setup from Kangorillaz right there. So you know what I was talking about, like in terms of slapping it, right? Yep. This is an alternate version where you basically just send it deep pass onto the right there.
We can slap it to the right-ish.
Yeah, I mean,
like down
to the right.
Yeah, it kind of counts. 6 seconds though for Kangorillaz to put up 3 points on the board.
I mean, to some extent, I actually think that's why I kind of like teams keeping a player back on that initial joust, because in the situation you're right there, if Kangorillaz pull that and you don't have someone back, you're just committing all your players forward. If you don't get that initial joust,
Clips kept Haldor back, and we were wondering why it actually worked out against them.
Yeah, but I think that's because Joker played into it. Like they played into it, exactly. So they didn't go for it. I'd argue like against a team that's also going for it, that's a good thing to do. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. 11.5 now got some pretty decent percent. Oh, as soon as I say that, the disc goes wide. Kangorillaz, oh, good stun code coming out. This is looking good. A good pass eventually does go across. Interception from Wit, goes for a shot downtown, and that'll be 3 points going straight into 11.5's pocket.
So 26 seconds for them to get 3 points, but it has tied things up. More importantly, it has prevented a 1-point lead in favor of one of the teams. Well done by 11.5. Good little shot there to Wit 2, taking advantage of no one on the defense of Kangorillaz.
Yeah.
15, 14,
yeah, so that is
13, 12,
a good setup from them. I think a good pressure from 11.5 as well. I mean, they open that opportunity up for themselves through their pressure. Both a two-man stack and an individual basically line marking, which is something that I think we're starting to see little bits more and more in some of these games. And essentially line marking is where you basically mark the passes rather than the people. And because in theory, with two people, you can actually mark, you can mark all the passes if you include the goal as well. So it's something that, because you both mark a pass and a goal, but that's some good passing coming up from Kangorillaz. Slow and steady with this possession. Giving 11.5 time to set up, just saying, we're going to beat your setup, so we don't have to worry about it. Oh, that's a pretty aggressive... Yeah, so I think that was a pretty early pass to Love, which was forced Leverage into a situation where he had to throw quickly. 11.5 now getting control of the disc, going to clear this down. Looks going to be like, so it's going to be a race. 11.5 getting control of the disc, and he goes again! Wit, another 3 points on the board. More or less the same position as well.
Yeah, down from low, and just takes advantage again. Kangorillaz being too aggressive, and with the missed pass they went for on the attack, 11.5 completely take advantage of that and say, hey, you know, we'll let you set up all day, but when you miss one of those passes, we're going to score against you.
I have a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a very high-scoring game.
11, 10,
yeah, I mean, it already has been pretty much 6-3, only a minute and 13 seconds in.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 15 a team at the moment, based on how this is going so far. If they keep giving these three-pointer opportunities with clear and boost, then it's just going to, that scoreline is just going to keep going up and up and up.
Let's see this time.
Oh, just perfect read from 11.5 again there.
He's going to get back in time. You can see the mini-map, both teams just fighting for their chance. Oh my gosh, almost gets stolen away and intercepted yet again for another goal. And it's been actually cleared past two players at 11.5, but luckily Wit's able to pick this one back up, pass it back to Rockdoor. He's going to throw it back to Wit yet again. Okay, the Kangorillaz is trying to go for a push out to get some aggression, but 11.5 can just play for time again. Uh-oh, here we go.
I do wonder... Oh, going for a shot again. Why do you leave Wit another shot from that same position? I do not know. Okay, so Kangorillaz is going to go for a really quick clear and boost. The question is, who's going to get a two-man stack out fastest? Looks like 11.5 are going to have a man to recover. He will be collecting the disc, and Kangorillaz are kind of be out in the middle of no man's land at the moment. Separated as well, which is really awkward, because this is going to be a clear, a straight boost through. I mean, Kangorillaz didn't get pressured there. They just decided to split their two-man stack and try and kind of do man marking, but they were on the wrong side of the players. It just left 11.5 open for a good clear and pass down deep.
You said it's probably going to be a high-scoring game after what we saw so far. I think definitely for one team, at least at the moment. 11.5, the 3 goals they've made have all been three-pointers. And it's not very often you see the 3 points as being the way to
it's usually the 2s. It's usually that we see a lot of 2-pointers, but we're just seeing 3s left, right, and center here. I do come back to the question, I mean, coming back to what I was saying before about Kangorillaz obviously already being qualified, I do question whether or not, like, they're going to be feeling the pressure to perform in the same way that 11.5 will, and it could be affecting how risky they're wanting to play this. So I wouldn't say they might be underperforming their usual selves, but they might be trying to play slightly differently. That said, solid 2-pointer coming in from Seedable there. Good little passing play, juggling the defenders around, leaving in a 1v1 opportunity, and just converting it very in there. But yeah, I do question if Kangorillaz are necessarily going to have the same drive for this game as 11.5 would. Because they've already qualified. I mean, they got through...
for one game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the prize money is one thing, but I feel like getting to LAN is like a completely different one, right? In terms of, I mean, as a player, a lot of the time it's like that getting to that LAN experience is like the big deal. Your chance at the shot.
And that, you can make an extra $5.5 grand.
True. I mean, fair enough.
Like, I mean, obviously, if you win first place, you know, you take home the 18.9 in this, 20.4 in Echo Combat, but it's all about those dollar bills.
Oh, this is looking like an open... Oh, you could see him trying to eye up the shot down the line. Didn't get the didn't get the chance though, but
I think if anything, Kangorillaz have been spread thin over the course of the season, having to practice for both games, and maybe they've been putting more time into combat than they have into arena. They are able to get another 2 points. Silverback against Trembitsky, and now it's a 2-point game here between them and 11.5.
Yeah, so that is a good little comeback from Kangorillaz. So bringing this points difference back to, I'd say, a more respectable level, but both teams on the precipice of breaking past that 10-point mark, so 2 minutes left. I still think my 15-15 could hold up, possibly. We'll have to wait and see. But Kangorillaz seem to come back into this right now. Neither team really going for a PE joust. It looks like both of them going for a standard joust. Looks like an interesting setup there from 11.5. Gives themselves a really awkward passing angle. If Kangorillaz can collect this, they'll be in a really good spot. It looks like they will be able to. They're going to have a man going deep now. Loveridge is going to get a free pass here. He collects it. He's in a 1v1 opportunity now. Oh, and that's just going to be an unfortunate... I think that was like a misthrow off the goal that's going to end up leaving... I think it was possibly Dash, just very far out of position. Not able to really contest that at all.
Back-to-back 2-pointers here for Kangorillaz. Unanswered by 11.5. They've been able to score another 6 points and equalize things. 11.5, the 3 times they scored have all been 3s, and yet Kangorillaz, true. I don't know how they've been able to do this and score it in such quick succession, but really taking advantage of 11.5, making some misplays. And
well, I think as well, Kangorillaz kind of opened themselves up to those 3s at the beginning, so maybe they're just kind of finding their rhythm now, and they're not giving away those chances anymore, and they just kind of found the way they want to play this out. Going for a really short pass here from 11.5. 11.5 very scared about losing this possession, but Kangorillaz now pushing up for man marking. Going to be collected by someone in the midfield. This is a good position to be in for Kang. They're going to be a 2-man stack as well. This is going to be the end of the disc, and that'll be another 2 points, now putting them in the lead.
8 unanswered points, 4 goals, and Kangorillaz have been able to take the lead in a situation I never thought they'd come back from. They were down 9-3. And yet somehow they're ahead 11-9. 11.5 have yet to score in what, the last 2 minutes, if not more?
Yeah, I do think that Kangorillaz might have just found their rhythm, and obviously the last game they played, they lost. They lost 2-1, meaning that they still potentially have like the qualifier shakes right now. So we might just be seeing them now starting to find their rhythm for not just this game, but for the tournament.
Again, Eclipse can be watching this entire series, trying to figure out what they can do in their last chance to qualify. 11.5 just try to fight for their chance to get the lead back on their side. 2 points would definitely be a way to start things off, and there we go. That's going to be Dash able to get the 2 points back on the board and tie things up at 11 apiece. Took 21 seconds, but good job for them to actually be able to finally answer back to the 8 points in a row Kangorillaz just scored before.
Yeah, so solid 2 points there. Bringing them back in it, 11-11. Both need 2 more 2s, and then I've got my prediction. It's working its way there, slowly but steadily. A minute left on the clock though, so that might be a little bit difficult. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it's going to be Kangorillaz now coming out of possession. Going for, I'd argue, kind of a... Okay, so they're sending someone really far deep and then a short pass on the left. They're going to be passing it very quickly middle. Okay, they're basically just trying to bait out the 2-man stack, right? Trying to deal with that early. Great pressure from 11.5. A little bit risky bringing the keeper up, but it pays off because they can get possession again. They're now going to be moving up slowly, looking to kind of basically just take their time with this, get the passes in, don't give up possession, and they've now got themselves a 2v2 situation. Kangorillaz trying to recover. Seedable's going to get back, not in time though. And it's going to be in, oh, that was an almost ding and miss there, but ding straight into the goal, and that will be another 2 points from 11.5 starting to come back into this.
But again, it took 34 seconds. Done on purpose here for 11.5, because now the time is running really thin for Kangorillaz, down to 27 seconds.
Get to your line.
They
score one more time.
arguably they could have even taken more time there, right? They punched out the last guy. They could have actually waited and just basically said, right, okay, let's just score the last goal of the game. But they just...
I mean, I would... In their situation, I'd rather just take the goal.
Yeah, I know. I think that's it. I mean, that's a really difficult thing to do, so I'm not surprised they went for the goal anyway. But going for... Kangorillaz having to play super aggressive right now. Going to go for kind of a Pac-Man play. Going to have some passing back into the middle. They've got 18 seconds on the clock. They need to get aggressive with this. One of the members gets punched out, so a second member gets punched out. This looks like it might have to be a goal attempt for it coming in. Oh my god, they're going to do it. Going to bring it back. 8 seconds left on the clock. This looks like it could be going to overtime.
I'd say so. I don't really see a world where 11.5 can score with just 9 seconds. If they are, they're going to have to really boost one out quickly to get across the field in time. But I'm assuming Kangorillaz is going to 100% keep a player in the goal this time.
Yeah, no way
point to keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the problem with sending that player deep and doing that with super risky players, if you get caught out, you're basically, that's it, you're done. And although you can do that at the beginning of a game, doing it in overtime is not feasible. You're gonna see, okay, right, so they're going, like, 11.5 going for a super risky play here, trying to get something, and yeah, she's gonna be collected by Kangorillaz. Although 8 seconds is enough time to get the distance to the goal, it isn't enough time to set up so you can also take out the keeper.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, something that Joker would know a lot about
Yeah,
right
I was going
now.
to say, you can't channel your Joker here in that one.
No, fortunately not.
But now, next goal wins. Kangorillaz had a massive streak. What was it, 8 points in a row?
Okay,
down
so
3 to 9.
So interestingly, we're seeing a PE joust coming out of Kangorillaz here with 2-man, and then a single individual staying to the goal. Going to be interesting to see who gets there first. It's going to be Kangorillaz, so Kangorillaz is going to get there first. Goes for a high clear. Doesn't quite work out in the way I think they were intending. So this is actually going to be 11.5 that takes possession now. Kangorillaz now pushing up to try and man-mark this. Oh, they do get the block. There is an open goal right now. If they can get the shot off, this is a possible attempt on goal. A wide, I think that was an attempt to pass. Okay, 11.5, I'm going to get possession. There's going to be a clear from them. Going deep now.
Who's going to get across the field in time? That was going to be the question. You can see the mini-map is going to be a 2 against 1. They all miss, actually, the direction it was going. Okay, back in the hands of Leverage, going for the pass over to Stravinsky.
That's a really key pass. He needed to make that. Kangorillaz now got a little bit of time, going to make this first pass. There's no goalie. He just needs to take his time with this. Going for the shot, and that will be Kangorillaz taking the first match.
So they were down by 8. No, yes. Wait.
Yes.
They were down by 6.
Yes, correct.
9-3. There we go. Whew. And they took 8 straight.
Yeah, so that was a great comeback. And I honestly
don't know how I confused myself there.
That to me seems like the Kangorillaz I would expect to see in this tournament. I mean, looking at how they were shaky in kind of that initial, little bit, I could see how that could be like tournament jitters, which could very well have been kind of why they struggled so much against Joker. We're now seeing some highlights coming up here of just how well that worked for them. I mean, so yeah, seeing the early 3-pointers from both sides, and then obviously 11.5 pulling ahead with basically back-to-back 3-pointers from Wit, I think. Was it 3 in a row?
So Wit got 2, and then Rocktor got 1.
Yeah. And then, yeah, basically just Kangorillaz started to find their rhythm a little bit, stopped opening up the opportunities for 11.5 to get those threes. And it essentially just enabled Kang to kind of play the way it looks like they were intending to play, passing play. Yeah, you can see kind of their setups were very well done. And yeah, just generally speaking, I mean, they're obviously converting it with that last 3, but yeah, very well done from Kangorillaz there.
Yeah, and now they need 1 more to get through against Eclipse. They have not played each other, actually, in this tournament. It was 11.5 versus Eclipse. But Kangorillaz might get some redemption. Maybe if they can beat Eclipse, they have a chance to take on Joker in the finals and take the #1 seed back in their hands where it rightfully was.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, right. It was rightfully was. They did qualify in stage 1.
Yeah.
Beat out every other team.
And they've consistently placed them first, I think, in second stage as well. So yeah, they definitely are have been the solid #1 team in North America. I mean, the margin between them and the other teams, you could argue, is different, but they still have been the #1 team. Yeah. So they definitely going to want that rematch back.
All right. Well, I think we're just getting the next round started here momentarily, getting the teams ready up, and we should be kicking this off. And who do you actually think is going to win this? I don't think we talked about predictions.
I think Kangorillaz. I think...
Wait, who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to win?
I'd argue I want 11.5 because I want more players at Worlds. Because if you have Kangorillaz qualifying twice,
You just want more people to hang out with.
yeah, basically.
It's selfish. That's a selfish reason.
I know. I want more of the community there. I want more people at Worlds because, as I said, 50, if there are all different teams that qualify, it's 56 players. If there are teams that qualify twice, that number starts to go down. So, I'd like to see more, as many people as possible at the Worlds. But
You say that, but ESL's like, less people there, less hotel rooms, less fights.
true. But I mean, it's going to be interesting because this comes back to the whole point. Although they'll have the drive for the money side of it, the drive for the qualification for that LAN, for the qualification for the chance at the big bucks, like the bigger bucks, is like as much of a big deal as anything. So
Yeah.
I was going to be interested to see if that is actually going to make Kangorillaz more calm and effective now. They've kind of got past that initial shake.
I mean, they came back from being down 9-3. Like, I think any shakes they did have should be clearly gone by now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would completely argue that's completely gone now. But the question is 11.5 going to get shakier as this kind of gets more, this kind of contest heats up a little bit more? But we'll only have to just wait and find out. Some bounces coming in. Looks like Kangorillaz might be able to clear this.
Well, Wit's not been given as many free shots as he had before, so it's definitely looking better in general for Kangorillaz, at least on the defense.
Oh,
They hit that.
Almost. That was an almost pressure from Kangorillaz there.
Uh-oh. Actually, they might have a shot here. Yep, pretty clean for the back. Good little 2
Boost.
points.
Yeah, good little clearing boost from 11.5, punishing Kangorillaz for their aggressive two-man stack, saying your keeper isn't in your goal, so we're just going to push it down your end, chase it, and put it in. So
I
Adam,
was just enjoying the music. But
yeah, what is your predictions then going to this?
I
think
think
Kangorillaz, but
the viewers are going to win.
the viewers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a good game no matter what.
True. But who do you think is going to win?
The viewers. I think they're going to win because there's been so many good matches.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to win between these two teams. I would look at the first map. I would definitely say the viewers.
Oh god.
Got you in the first half. Anyways, so 0.5 currently with a 2-0 lead. We do have possession.
Nice little spin back pass there. 11.5 taking the time. Oh, good pass. This is gonna be a free three-pointer.
Don't miss it.
Taking the time.
Oh.
Oh no! That's a tilter. Oh boy.
I even said don't miss it, Dash. What are you doing? What are you doing, son?
I think the longer he took, the more I was worried there that he was gonna miss it. And yeah, this is 11.5 now taking the time with this. If they can lock this in, it isn't as bad, but okay, cool.
Still not as
they
good
do
as a 3 though.
Yeah, they do get a slap there. It's not a 3, but at least they didn't concede a goal off the back of it, which would be like the ultimate tilt.
That's true. To miss a 3.
Miss a 3 and then
Cool.
get double backed on for a 3. Like that is you've just conceded 6 points. It's not just 3. You've just flipped it 6, which is a big deal.
Well, luckily for them though, they're still in the lead, and Kangorillaz have yet to score. So 4-0. Normally I would be like, all right, well, Kangorillaz are out, but after seeing them in the first map, I don't think you could ever say
No.
that they're out. Again, 9-3, and they scored 8 points straight, 4 goals in a row. So insanely well done. But finally get some sort of control now. Get a good pass up, and it gets actually caught, it gets intercepted right out of the air.
Yeah, but a panic back pass is coming in here. This is like really worrying passing coming out. Looks like Kangorillaz, this is going to bounce up. Kangorillaz will collect this. Now they've got 2 members very far deep in the wrong direction. They are going to recover. They're going to go straight back to goal. So now this is basically Kangorillaz just doing their normal play now.
Had a chance for a shot too if they hit that pass on the recovery. I think that was Strabitsky was looking for it. In the meantime, though, they're trying to push up. See him trying to play in from the low side. Passes back here to Loveridge. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, and they're still looking for the first 2 points of the half. They're able to do so.
That extra pass, that was spicy. That was exactly what they need. I mean, this is when we come back to whether or not you punch out the keeper. If you're in that situation, and if you can get the defense to put 2 players in goal, that hurts them. So by having someone on the backboard, putting 2 players in goal, you can then basically just play around with that because as a defender, if you're in the goal with your keeper, that's like the worst thing. It's like you want to be covering someone, and you don't want to be getting in the way of your keeper, but you do neither in that spot. So by being able to kind of force them into that position, they're just able to basically pass around and get it in. And yeah, flipping that rotation of where the keeper has to be looking as well just makes it even that much harder to deal with.
See Kangorillaz now. Again, trying to take the lead back for themselves. Nice little forward pass. Obviously, it's caught out. Actually, still in the bag. Has to be very aggressive here and somehow blocks it. That was a 1v1 open goal shot.
And he gets the pass out. This is now like, if he can get, oh, okay, Strem goes for the shot, does get blocked as well. Just as important as the previous block, actually. 11.5 are going to now take possession, though, so it's not actually going to amount to anything, unfortunately. And 11.5 are actually in a really good spot here. They've got a member of Kangorillaz very deep, but goes for the very wide and fast clear. If Kangorillaz can recover, which they will, that will be punished.
Well, they're going to clear towards the northern side. Actually, it's caught up in the tunnels yet again. They should be able to retrieve this, though, as they're still looking to slap away.
No.
However, Wit picks it up, and Wit has an open three-pointer.
Okay, so Wit is pulling out the stops these games. Like, every three-pointer he needs to hit. Actually, I'm just going to confirm. Was he the one that whiffed the one earlier?
No, that was Dash.
That was Dash. Okay, so Wit has been hitting all the three-pointers he needs to every time he's had the chance. So
he's 3 for 3 on threes.
Yeah,
12,
3 for 3.
11, 10,
3 for 3 threes.
8,
There's something.
7,
Never mind. Something they could have said there.
4,
Okay, in a loving way. All right, because you've met Dash.
Yes.
So have I.
and we're underway.
I remember seeing videos, actually, he was saying that people keep telling him he's like the best keeper
Oh, God. Okay.
in Echo Arena. No, that's not what I was going to go for. It's a pretty easy
okay.
one, I would imagine.
So an interesting. Oh, okay. So that is Seedable basically rotating himself with the analog stick, something you can do in Echo, and basically doing that as you go towards the 1v1, because that really fucks with the keeper how they're going to be looking at in terms of like what angle to cover.
Get to your launchers. 15.
Oh, now 4 to 7.
13.
Then put 5 are going to have control. A minute 30 left on the board. Hopefully for them, they cannot let this lead go this time, because if they do, they're out of the entire thing, the entire season, netting in not qualifying for the finals would be definitely a massive disappointment here for 11.5.
Yeah.
They've already been to Leicester before, actually, last year.
Yes. So they'll be familiar with it. We're going to see 11.5 now with possession, moving up. Going to be another shot on goal. Roctor now locking this in. And yeah, another 3 points. This is 11.5 running away with this game now.
It's Kangorillaz doing what they messed up on in the first round again. They're giving all these like 3-point shots open.
They haven't bounced back yet, though. And they bounced back a lot faster than this in the last round.
Yeah.
Which is worrying.
And they instead of having the game, or right now the game's like ending with them messing up the defense. The last round, it started with them messing up the defense.
Yeah.
So this is going like the wrong direction for them if they wanted to qualify yet again. Or at least move on a little bit further on in this tournament, because they still have Eclipse waiting in the sidelines looking for their next opponents. Wit and Dash going to push up, the two-man squad looking to go for a chase onto the disc. Just a little
Nice.
movement.
Yeah, some really nice little passes
Leverage,
here.
so, you know.
Basically playing around with the two-man stack, trying to break it down, and they're going to end up in a 1v1 situation, and that will be 2 points. Now the question is, does this mark the beginning of their comeback?
If they score another 2 points in the next 20 seconds, then yes.
But that's like half of the battle.
What do you mean?
They only need 2 goals to come back in.
Get to your launcher.
But but you were saying, like, is this them coming back now?
Yeah, okay. No, I know.
I think,
yeah.
like, are they waking up back to what they did in the first round? I think if they score another 2 points, one more goal, the next, like, 20, 25 seconds,
Yeah.
and I think they can keep that momentum up.
What is interesting as well is I think that the jousts from both teams haven't really decided who scored, which is something that's quite strange, because usually, like, depending on the team, they'll like one of their jousts, as we kind of saw. Oh,
Open.
I say that. As soon as I say that, then they just score off the joust. Roctor getting 3 points. There's a bit of a misread from Kangorillaz there, not realizing that 11.5 was sending a player deep, and a great pass coming out there as well from Dash.
Can't let these open. This is like the 6th time.
Get to your launcher.
It is a lot of
7th
open
time they've
threes,
let
yeah.
a 3-pointer. I've not seen this many threes go off in a game.
I think
ever.
It's no, it's not everyone. So they've scored at least A2, but it's been the majority of 11.5's goals right now are currently consisting of 3-pointers. And from Roctor, I believe, this game. So Roctor and Wit stepping up. I mean, it even had
We're
the
not going to
chance.
talk about Dash's chance.
Yeah, they even had the chance of another 3, right? This could be even more dominating. It could be a 10-point lead at this time.
Orange sends it back the
Let's
other
see,
way.
43 seconds. And they're down by over half their points. I think Kangorillaz' chance of taking this in a 2-0 is going to be gone here. I think 11.5 should definitely have this one locked down.
Oh, good pass, though. Good follow-up.
30 seconds
11.5 are going to recover. Oh, doesn't matter, though. Strem's going for the 2. 5 points they need to get back in 28 seconds, though. I would say it's impossible, but we...
Yeah, but they had 36 seconds.
Okay, they did have the extra, like,
Yeah.
10 seconds, though. Oh, well, 8 seconds.
And I don't know,
Get your
the
launcher.
thing is 11.5 have control. I don't think they're going to mess up their initial control. I don't think they're going to get aggressed on so heavily. They're not prepared for it. And they should at least at a minimum get a decent clear in.
7,
Yeah.
6,
Yeah, this is and the thing as well, obviously you got to remember, is 11.5 going to have possession even if Kangorillaz score again, so they've actually got the initiative there.
round has begun.
You really need to do something special to actually deal with that, and we're seeing a man-to-man pressure here, pretty aggressive.
Okay, this is
Kangorillaz
a
are going
start.
to get the disc.
They need a
18
three,
seconds,
though.
they need to score straight away though. Like they can't,
15
they
seconds
really need to be quick on this.
Go for the punt.
Oh no, it's only 2. Okay, so Strem makes the unfortunate mistake of when you're releasing the disc, you need to kind of, when you're doing those anchor shots, you need to release it very early on in the throw. If you hold it and pull through, then it does count as a 2 as you move your arm into
Get to your
the
launcher.
3-point circle, but that is only be 2.
It's 11 seconds. Like if you just hold the disc, bait them in, and then go for a full clear. It's
I feel like the only option Kangorillaz has right now is to basically do a PE joust and get there on top of the guy as soon as possible and go for an intercept at the same time, which looks like is what they're doing right now. Sending a PE joust through the middle, 2-man stack, going as fast as they can, and yeah, unfortunately not fast enough. 11.5 can now ride this out, and that will probably be game to 11.5.
Yep. So 10 to 13 in favor of 11.5.
Blue team
And they
wins.
will take it to a third map, and more importantly, keep their hopes alive. I mean, they were 1 round away now from being knocked out of the whole thing, and that would be a shame for them considering they finished second overall in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, so looking at some highlights here, right, we'll be able to see some of these good, well, starting off with the 2 points, but following on from that, a lot of 3 points coming out of 11.5 there. I mean, Kangorillaz had a couple of moments where they looked like they were starting to come back into it a few different times after like 1 or 2 goals, but it never really had that same feel as the first round where they started to pull that big point difference back. But like looking at these goals, how many times did they leave the goal open?
Too many. Way too many. There's like back-to-back goals for the side of 11.5 where they just made threes because they were left open.
I like some of their offensive play in terms of like their setup, in their positioning, their passing. It was all good stuff. But yeah, they're just the defensive positioning wasn't there because they just left a last man in there so many times with the free goal, and it came out to bite them. Because I think if you were to deduct a point off of every, if you were to bring it, basically change those 3s for 2s, right? How much closer would that game have been?
I mean, even
towards the end of
that isn't like something you can do clearly. Because if you imagine you had a guy in a goal,
yeah, it would have been
not a guaranteed chance. to
Exactly,
get two
exactly.
either.
So it would have been like a 75% chance, maybe, if you want to like add that onto it. So minus all those points plus remove 25% of the goals.
Now, if they had a superpower of being lucky, sorry, this goes like a conversation we had before the show started.
Oh, God.
What superpower would you want if you could have one?
One of them was lucky.
In a realistic
and
world.
I actually say, if you're talking about Ec.lip.se, yeah, you definitely want that.
Yeah. Does
Go
it,
for that.
does it
As a
transcend
keeper.
into
As
the
a
game
keeper.
though? Because you can't fly. You can't use your superpower flying in a game.
True, but if you're lucky, you can. It's still luck, isn't it?
It's a stress.
Well, that's the whole question of like, what is VR? Is it real or not? I mean, it's pixels,
Are we
but-
living in the Matrix?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I imagine a lot of the players are currently right now feeling like they are with how engaged they're going to be with these games. I think we're just currently waiting to get into the next game. It looks like we've actually dropped 2 players, so I imagine they'll just come back in any second. Something some of the players do like to do is in between rounds they will disconnect and reconnect. Just it can help connection, theoretically, just to kind of reset your system, start it back up again if you happen to be having any bugs or latency issues. So,
I mean, if Dash did, I'd be like, okay, maybe that's why he missed his 3.
he
But
has.
it's not him. That's
It's not him.
I'm sorry. It's just
yeah,
the thing is, like that's
don't mean it, Dash.
that's a thing of nightmares, right? Like I have nightmares
honestly,
about where like, I
yeah.
steal the ball playing basketball and I'm like open for an easy layup and I miss it. I actually did that in real life once.
I mean, I still vividly remember games where I've played in where I have whiffed certain shots or made missed passes and stuff, and those still stick with me today. So I would not be surprised if that's the same.
Tell me about some of them.
I don't know if you remember, but the European regionals, like literally the first LAN event I ever did, there was a point where I think I passed to Martin and I was telling him he had time, and he did not have time. And he got crashed at the last second, and that point would have pushed us up to, I think, 3rd place or 2nd place. So yeah, that was what I
Cost your
still
team the
remember.
game.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, it's a different thing because I was making the call, but those that is nightmare fuel. That is without a doubt nightmare fuel. So I am not surprised that I mean, they've come back into it, obviously. 11.5, sticking with their guns, saying, we're going to keep going like this. I honestly, to some extent, I feel like 11.5 have played well, but I also feel like the answer to whether or not this like, who wins this next match comes to whether or not Kangorillaz decide to keep someone in goal for half the game.
Yeah, I feel like it's not necessarily 11.5 playing really well that allowed them to win that last game.
They're punishing. They're doing a good job of punishing, to be fair. Because they keep...
Technically, yeah.
I mean, if you send someone deep and the enemy team doesn't respond to it, and then you just do it again and they're like, cool, they still don't respond to it, you just keep doing it. Like, it's just free goals. So,
That's,
I mean,
that's technically true, but I feel like, like if it ever happens, it should happen once max, and then it should be fixed.
True, but I think there's another thing as well, which is what some teams do, is that they'll try and do something. Say, for example, they'll send a man deep, and they'll get a pass and they'll get a goal, and they're like, cool, that worked. It's never going to work again. And they won't bother trying it again. But actually, the other team doesn't adapt. So what happens is they then do something else that the other team's actually somewhat capable of dealing with, and they don't abuse it properly. So they actually overestimate the enemy team and don't abuse the things where they make mistakes. Because if for example, Kangorillaz isn't responding to sending a guy deep, you need to keep doing that until you think. Ideally, it's the round before they start to change. So like the instant they change, you switch it is the ideal situation. But that's so unlikely. You basically have to wait till the first inkling you get that they're starting to change something, then you switch it.
I feel like if you're Kangorillaz, like if it ever happens once, you just should shut it down.
Oh yeah, honestly.
But the problem is that it happened in game 1. It's happened in game 2. Will it continue to happen in game 3?
Yeah.
Like, they can't afford to do that. I mean, we had, like, 3 open 3-pointers in the last round.
They
That's
stopped,
9 points.
They stopped doing it towards the end of game 1, right? They kind of kept someone back. Any goal attempts that happened from 11.5 after that, like, halfway mark had to be really pressured, and it was a good setup around the goal, or they were doing other things. But the score, like, you could see the goal difference gradually decreasing and decreasing because they were stopping the bleeding. But they just didn't do that in the second game. It was just
weird because if you don't adapt, you're giving away 3 points every time.
Exactly.
But if you do, worst case, they score 2 points, which
Yeah.
makes it more reliable. But it also gives you a chance to actually put up a defense.
Yeah,
if you have no one
exactly.
at goal, it's free goal unless they miss.
That's the point.
And the
You can
chance they're
contest it.
missing is
Yeah.
so low unless
Exactly.
you dash.
Because I mean, even if it's 100% conversion, you're knocking off a huge amount of points anyway, right?
Yeah.
Even if they score every
if
single
you just
one.
block 1 out of the 10,
Yeah.
you're still taking away more points. Than
Yeah, I mean, how many? I think they scored between 4 and 5 3-pointers in that game. That is 4 to 5 points you would knock off, even if they converted every single one.
I think you're more likely to block a shot in 1v1 than for them to miss a shot.
To some as in, oh yeah, so the keeper's more likely to defend it successfully
In a
than they are to just
1v1
miss
for
it.
2
Yeah.
than for a player to just miss a shot.
Yeah, it is more likely, but you can also argue that the keeper pressuring you forces the miss as well. So like, I feel like that's also part of it. But yeah, the keeper being there is the biggest deciding factor on whether or not you get those shots in. Which is like, yeah, generally speaking, if the option is, do you have a keeper in goal or do you not have a keeper in goal, you always want to have a keeper in goal. But I think Kangorillaz may be underestimating how important that is in these games because they're not responding to it.
Well, they need to stop underestimating that because this is the last chance for both these two teams. Winner goes through to still play against Eclipse for the best of 5 to determine who will be the second team for North America. And the losers will unfortunately not be going to Leicester. Now Strambitsky with the disc in hand. Good pass work allows him to pull off the 1v1 and take Kangorillaz in the lead within 12 seconds.
Yeah, so that is kind of standing this up from them. I mean, one thing I am aware of is that Kangorillaz, I think, are the better PE Joust team, so I'm not surprised that they've been winning the majority of these in that they're just much more consistently faster getting out of the gate. So I kind of dislike that 11.5 have not really been trying to punish it because they've just kind of sat there and waited to see what happens. Whereas if you look at how Joker handled it, they basically were ready, right? They were like sat there waiting. We know you're going to get the disc. What you're doing, we're going to respond to it. But we're not seeing that quite yet. We're seeing a 2-man stack defense, interestingly, coming out of Kangorillaz. So passing around, running as 2-man chain. So they've now split up, but this is they've gone now, flipped over to man marking. Goalkeeper's by himself. So this is now, okay, so they're keeping a goalkeeper back now, which I do like.
And again, denying those 3-pointers. What's been able to score a hell of a lot of those, actually, for 11.5. Actually taking off a lot of time on the clock, too. Again, trying to force Kangorillaz to get aggressive. Maybe jump the gun. Rockter's going to be sitting off to the side, try to hide behind the island as pass comes through towards him. But instead of going for any sort of pressure, actually backs off and then passes right back to Win, who goes for the shot and gets 3 again!
Oh, that should not have gone in. That was no pressure on the keeper there either, I don't believe. So
he's 4 for 3, or 4 for 4 in threes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not good. I mean,
Really? Jersey?
It's not. It's not what you want to see. I mean, although we did say, I mean, even if they convert 100%, you're stopping it, the threes, but he just scored a 3, even when you had a keeper in the
Let's not talk about it.
Okay.
I think Kangorillaz is saying let's just not talk about it.
Okay. So,
but you're right. That should not have. That should not have worked out for him. But it did. And now Kangorillaz have to play from behind. Now 11.5 get control of this again. Decent interception, picking up the bounce on the pass. Kangorillaz definitely looking human today.
Yeah, so going for a deep clear here. Going to be in a 1v1 situation. No, 11.5 are going to be recovering. Going for a quick back pass. 11.5 almost read that, though. It was really interesting to see them stop with their two-man stack. Almost was able to intercept. Ooh, very, very risky back pass there. Got 2 people in the same spot, which is not something you usually want, but it doesn't matter. Seedable's going to lock that in and convert it with a very good pass into the inner ring there, coming out of Loveridge as well.
I wonder if people have ever intentionally baited. Like, oh no, it bounced away from me, I didn't expect that. And then they actually like baited in the defenders to chase it, and then he actually just slaps it like back into a player.
I mean, I feel like it's a bit too risky. There are other baits that people do, like they do bait. Like they'll kind of throw off of an object in a certain direction, but they won't actually let go, or they'll let go and they'll grab it at the last second. And then the defender will basically fly off trying to intercept where he's going, and then he'll just grab onto it at the last second and come back. So you do see things like that. But it kind of comes into the realms of juking, which is kind of being left to the side in favor of good passing and positioning, which is, I think, what a lot of teams prefer. Oh, this is just... Oh, no, he whiffs it that time, so that is going to be a missed opportunity.
So I guess letting them shoot threes and missing is better chance than blocking a 3.
I mean, at the moment, yeah, it's a better ratio. So maybe they do have the right idea. Loveridge now going for a clear... Oh, no, sorry, not clear. Pass back to his teammate. Good passing coming out of Kangorillaz, even under pressure, though. I do have to admit, this is actually pretty good stuff from them. Another pass back. Going to be taking their time. Oh, okay, that kind of works out. That can be like a really tricky angle if you get the bounce off that block at the side. But they are going to retain possession here. Oh, yeah, okay, just some really solid passing around the back of goal there. Just, I mean, from a keeper's perspective, there's not really anything you can do unless you've got, like, you're fully aware of where they are at all times, but he didn't even have a teammate marking, like, one of the guys on the back, so it's almost impossible to deal with.
Okay, Kangorillaz going to take a decent lead. 6-3 now.
This is looking more realistic for Kangorillaz.
I hope so.
2 minutes, 43 seconds, that's almost half the game gone by so far. Another 10 seconds left on there. That'll be the half time. But we are going to be looking at 11.5 possession of the disc, going out, 2-man split. Kangorillaz looking to do man marking, but
look at Rockter again. He actually pushed up super far past.
Yeah, this is the problem. Like, you can't man mark with a guy in goal. So they convert it as a 2. They stop it as a 2. So arguably better than what they did last game. But I dislike the fact that they went for man marking, because like the whole point of man marking is that you use all your players to mark all their other players, and basically you force them into a position where they have to make a really difficult pass and they usually miss it. But try and do that when you're keeping your goalkeeper in goal, which is good, but I'm just not sure the strategy they went to go alongside that really works. I feel like they need to do some more boosting, do some more high pressure stuff, because yeah, they just otherwise 11.5 just lead their guy deep and just keep passing to him.
Oh, and actually get 2 defenders to go extremely deep here, but they're still sticking together, so they'll be quickly back towards the disc.
They split up now. That was a bit of a mistake. They are going to regroup though, so this is going to be a recovery from them. And yeah, Kangorillaz, yeah, taking their time now. They realize that possibly a slight overreaction from 11.5 in terms of their recovery, and they're now going to be moving in. Oh, that was close. Almost gave away possession. This is looking good though. Going to move him up for the 1v1. Oh, he's going to ding it. And this might be 11.5 getting a successful clear. Now, the really big question is who gets out of this ruck? Will it be Kangorillaz or will it be 11.5? 11.5 look like they got a 2-man stack. So does Kangorillaz. Kangorillaz will be back in goal. 11.5 go for a very early shot and a miss. Kangorillaz now recovering it. But 11.5 getting right back on top of this. This is going to be a 1v1 opportunity. Oh, great keeping though.
Pushes out of the goal, gets aggressive, catches him out, and not to mention a lot of time's been taken off the clock. We've seen over a minute. And oh my gosh. The angle it looked like, and it should still be a 2-pointer coming through nonetheless. Actually, it should be a 3. Oh, no, what are you doing?
No, why?
You had a 2 at a minimum.
I mean, they recovered the disc. It's not the end of the world, but that was... Maybe he just panicked. Oh God. Okay.
Don't you dare tell me 11.5 is going to take the lead off of this.
Okay, no, so they're going to recover it again.
A minute and a half's been taken off the clock from this one possession alone.
I mean, to some extent, this is wasting a huge amount of time. Oh my god,
He might be a good Comet player, but he can't snipe these three.
Oh, it's save coming in from 11.5, keeping this game alive.
Slaps it away.
Okay,
back in the hands of Kangorillaz. Again. They're spread out. They should really get a pass off.
Yeah, they need to. Kangorillaz need to get a goal here. A slow 2-point goal will basically lock this in for them now.
What's happening? I think this is nerves for both teams.
Yeah. This is such a critical time. This basically decides who goes to land right now. These 33 seconds.
Just hold it. Just hold possession. You don't have to score. Hold possession.
I think they're doing that now. They've realized. They've got 33 seconds. They have only a point on the board. They're just going to run away. He's just going to run away. They're going to take their time, get some extra passes in if they need to. Goes for a shot on goal, and that will be Kangorillaz with the 3 points. With 17 seconds on the clock.
2 minutes and 11 seconds to score that 3 points. How many shots did we see taken?
I honestly, I think the first one is what happened was he just assumed there was a player in the goal. I don't think he realized that it was an open opportunity because he just went for a back pass pretty quickly off of that.
So you mean the initial one?
I think he just assumed there was a player in goal. He didn't realize that they'd all pushed out as man marking. But Kangorillaz with the clutch 3 points and just, I mean, anyone could have got the disc there and pushed it either way at that point, I think. Kangorillaz coming up good, and then that will be it. That clear will lock in Kangorillaz for the World Finals.
No. They play against Eclipse still.
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, sorry.
Getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Woo.
And these are not pre-recorded matches.
No.
Now if Kangorillaz win, you're going to look like...
No, I'm getting completely...